Hey everyone, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. This is episode 287, and on this episode, we're going to be talking all about Mario Day and so much more. This is recorded live on March 12th, 2024, and my name is Steve. I'm, of course, joined by Barry. Barry, how you doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here, and happy Mario Day.
Yeah. Also joined by Greg. Greg, happy Mario Day to you too.
Wahoo! To you too. So happy Mario Day.
Hey, they did away with Charles Martinet. I didn't realize that they picked up you for the Mario voice.
Yep.
And another familiar face. If you're watching the video version, you've already been spoiled. That our former host and person that started this entire podcast, Hassan, is joining us for this episode. How you doing, Hassan?
I'm doing well. I've been let out of the dungeon once again after so many years. But I am back, and it's been a long time, and I was just like, you know what? Let me hop on and just chill another time and hang out.
Nice. Jakester in the chat and said he was already spoiled by Twitter, apparently. But speaking of the chat, if you've never joined us live, we go live every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We'd love to have you join us over on Twitch or YouTube, and the video version is, of course, on YouTube after the fact. And if you've never joined us on our on social media, be sure to follow us at NintendoFuse on your favorite social media. And also, we are over on Discord as well. We have our link on the video versions on the screen right now, but it's also going to be in the podcast show notes and the YouTube description as well. We'd love to have you join our community over on Discord. Like I said, today is going to be all about Mario Day. It's March 12th today, but you know, Mario Day was just a couple days ago, and Nintendo decided to really celebrate this year. So we have some announcements to talk about. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about what we have been playing. And Hassan, as our guest, let's go to you first.
What I've been playing, honestly, is not all that different than what I was playing years ago, which is Fortnite. Is my main game that I've still stuck with. So Fortnite Zero Build, new season, Chapter 5, Season 2 started. So been doing the challenges and working through the Battle Pass and everything there, which has been a lot of fun. I like the new kind of Greek, mythology sort of inspired season this time around, which is fun. And also Fortnite Festival, which is the sort of rock band mode. I've been playing that here and there. I've been, so far at least, purchasing every track that they've released just to kind of build up my library, my catalog of songs, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've just bringing me back to the old, Guitar Hero Rock Band days, and being able to enjoy those tracks, and hopefully soon on an actual guitar controller when they end up releasing one of those. But so far it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. I was wondering if you could play with an actual controller yet, like a guitar controller, because when that happens, I think I'll start playing it again. But I just wasn't feeling it on an actual controller right now.
Yeah. They've announced it, and I think PDP or something, or somebody announced a controller already, and so there's going to be more that will come. But for now, it's either keyboard for PC or controller at the moment.
Nice. Anything else?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it?
Otherwise, I mean, just a few random little things here and there. I've been trying to get my son to play some games, but he's still not fully into like video games yet. He's 3 years old. And so, just kind of like dabbling with the Nintendo Labo piano thing. We set up Wii Music the other day so he can kind of mess around with the Wii remote and see what sounds, when you're playing the songs and stuff. So just trying to, experiment with things like that. And not a game specifically, but Lego Animal Crossing, the set's just released, and we just built most of the set that comes with Isabelle today.
Cool.
So that was fun.
Cool. I saw you got a Vision Pro. Have you played any games on it, or is it pretty much more of a productivity kind of thing?
Yeah, I've dabbled a little bit. There's a few things like almost like 3D puzzles that you can do. So you can kind of like, move around the puzzle in your own 3D space and stuff. You can like have like a virtual chessboard in front of you and play chess and stuff. So things like that. I've kind of dabbled a little bit in that, but there's not too many. I mean, there are a lot of games that came over that like iPad games and things that are supported or controller games, but I haven't really tried those. I've been wanting to focus on like, the fun, new, cool stuff versus the already existing apps that I can try at any point. So always looking for more games there. If anybody has any recommendations.
Nice.
I remember one of your favorite 3D games was Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer for the 3DS.
Oh man, I'd like black that one out of my memory. I forgot about that one.
Those were the days. Looking at the chat real quick, and Jakester says he's been playing Skyward Sword HD and just got to the first Goddess Sword upgrade and started Golden Sun and loving both of those games. Pikmin Bloom, Hanafuda event, and Pokemon Sleep, the electric type event, and also tried the Princess Peach Showtime demo. Greg, how about you?
Yeah, I've been playing the CarX Highway Racing, which will be coming out on a future game chat for full thoughts and some breakdown on that, along with Berserk Boy. So those are the main two that I'll be able to comment further on later. But I did go back and finish the Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley, so I went back and actually beat the game. I don't think I necessarily completed it because it doesn't tell you how many music pages there were, but yeah, pretty much my thoughts were pretty much that it was pretty much the same from our game chat. Just wish it could have been a little bit longer and maybe even had a few enhancements that let you know how many pages there were to locate, because that's always a useful thing for games that we can collect stuff. But more to actually talk about, I did play the Princess Peach Showdown demo. I was kind of intrigued when they announced the game. I wasn't entirely sold just like on the initial premise of it, but I don't know if the demo necessarily did it a ton of justice. I did really like the sword fighter one because it was like definitely like a platforming and action adventure style gameplay. But then like the second one where you're like the chef, it was essentially just like playing like a Mario Party mini game, and then you're just like decorating cakes and stuff. So it was kind of a very drastically different game style approach. So it almost feels like it's essentially like Mario Party minigame collections, but just different types of little stories all woven together there. So I don't know what else to expect from that. And I don't know if the other ones are going to be for better or for worse. It's kind of hard to tell with only two of them being in the demo. But other than that, then I can move on to the Unicorn Overlord, which just released a few days ago. I did get the demo for that before like the last podcast even, but I didn't get a chance to play it. I'm usually pretty much into those strategy RPGs, but this one didn't quite pull me in as much as I initially thought. A lot of it is just like kind of like a lot of it was just like dealt with like the training and like just telling you to move the units there, and then like all the combat is completely automatic, and so it's not really quite the same as like Fire Emblem or even like the Triangle Strategy or anything like that. The other tactical ones, seemed like it had some unnecessary parts to it where you like move and then like the enemies like just automatically approach you, and or you can like automatically just like approach them like from a little bit of afar, and like I don't know, just a lot of the ways that the tactical stuff was handled didn't really fit kind of with how I usually play like Fire Emblem and those other ones, so it didn't really sell me a whole lot on it. So I don't think I'll be picking that up unless it's on like a super sale or I get further in the feel intrigued to try more of the demo. But other than those two demos and the other two games, it was just the standard Simpsons Tapped Out and also some Roblox games with my daughter as well. She absolutely loves the Adopt Me game, and they had like a 2 times weekend that we were playing a lot over the weekend. So that's what I've been up to.
Cool. Barry, how about you?
Hey, I don't have a huge list this week. That's crazy, right?
It is.
So on the Switch, Pokemon Unite, still doing that daily. Did Pokemon Scarlet. I went and did the Venusaur raid they had, but I didn't get a chance to do the Blastoise one, so I missed that. Like it was already mentioned, I played Berserk Boy, and we're gonna have a game chat on that soon. So stay tuned for that. Another thing, Car X Highway Racing, we'll be talking about soon. So I did mess around with that. And Lawn Mowing Simulator, another game. We'll have a game chat soon. So I won't spoil much there, but I did play those. So stay tuned for future game chats. The big thing I've been playing, which I started playing before the last podcast, or right before the last, it was right before, came out right after the last podcast, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Uh, yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I'm towards the end. I'm at the end of chapter 12 of 14, I believe. Uh, my biggest takeaways from the game is one, if you're going for 100%, which I like to do, the pacing's pretty bad. There's like some chapters that are really short, and then some chapters that are ridiculously bloated with open areas. And my other biggest thing, and I know it might get me some hate from the 7 fanboys, is that this could have been Final Fantasy 17. Like, they could have just made original characters and original story and this entire gameplay, and it would have been a great Final Fantasy 17. It's still a great game, but it's also the middle part of a retelling. But I also like what they're doing with it, so I'm invested, and I want to see where they're going with it for sure. But it still kind of sucks that it's a 70 plus hours into it, and it's still only the middle chapter of a what was one PlayStation 1 game. But it is a good game. I definitely am enjoying what they did with it. Also on the PC, Final Fantasy 14, still chucking away with that, and still on mobile with Mario Kart Tour.
Nice. So yeah, I think this is one of the first times ever that I have a longer list than both of you.
Yep.
Most of these games that I played, though, I was not planning on playing, and then all of a sudden we got some review codes and stuff like that, and here we are. So yeah, I played a game called High Water. I'm not allowed to really say much more than that because the embargo has not lifted yet. So it lifts on March 14th. So that's all I can tell you right now, but stay tuned. We'll have more information about that. Also played Car X Highway Racing with Barry and Greg as well. And yeah, like they said, we're going to have a game chat on that. Basically, if you're wondering what this is like, it's kind of like a Fast and Furious game is kind of how I would describe it. And I am enjoying it. It's quirky, but and it's got some things. So stay tuned to the game chat for more information about that. But I'm enjoying it. Also played Berserk Boy as well, and it's a very ambitious game. There's some things that I'm not a huge fan of, but overall, it's good. Well, that'll be a little tease as well. Lawnmower Simulator. That's going to be a fun game chat. I'll just say. I think we're going to have fun with that one. If you like mowing grass, this might be yours. If you like the idea of running a lawn mowing business, it is very much simulating that. But it made me sick, so we're going to move on. And also played the Princess Peach Showtime demo as well. I've got lots of thoughts around this demo. It's a short, tiny little demo, but I've got lots of thoughts. I agree with you, Greg. I'm really glad they did release a demo, though, because I was kind of on the fence about this game, and the demo really secured what I thought this game was going to be like. And I'm really glad that I played the demo instead of wasting $50 or $60 on the final game, because I'm not a big fan of what I saw in the demo. And there's some, it doesn't even seem like it's up to Nintendo's standards either. There was some things that, like, even the syncing of the on-screen text with the mouth movements were not always even matched up. It, like, the text would come up, and then after I progressed further, then her mouth started moving, which was weird for a Nintendo published game. Controls used A and B rather than B and Y, which threw me for a loop. Why are you doing this? And also, they don't tell you the controls all the time. Sometimes when you get into anything else, you have to hit X in order to see what to do and how to do the extra stuff, which is weird because it feels very much like a kid's game, honestly, like a Mario Party game, like you said, Greg. But then all of a sudden, then they throw in some things where they don't just walk you through the controls like you would expect either. So it seems really odd just in general, and not a big fan of what's going on in this. It's a very odd experience, and I was happy that it was short because I wanted to play all of it.
I need to try this demo now, because I was thinking of getting this game and I saw there's a demo. I was like, oh, I'll probably check that out. But now maybe I really should try the demo first.
You should definitely try the demo, and I'd be interested. If you end up liking it, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I'm not a big fan.
I plan on playing it, so I didn't try the demo because I'm like, well, why should I bother? Because I'm gonna play it. But I guess I'll see, because I'm gonna get it anyway, so I'm gonna try it and see. But it also comes out the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2, so if it's not very good, at least I have another game to jump to.
Two entirely different games.
Very different game.
Also played the continued Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley. If you watched our game chat, which everybody should, I was this close, like very, very close to the end of the game, and so it didn't take a whole lot longer for me to finish it up. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I think it wraps up nice and tidy, like we talked about in the episode. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The last area where you get the costumes, I didn't think it was as bad as we had talked about on the episode.
I didn't say it was bad. It was a fun romp, but I said, like, if you look at the map and the whole center and left side you explored, and you think you're going to do that on the right side too, and you don't. It's really just a running.
Yeah, you got to stay away from those little kids or whatever that get around you. But yeah, there's a couple things I couldn't find, which I think maybe I could if I went back to it, but also there was no point necessarily after you complete it. So, like you guys said, it'd be nice if you had some sort of percentage to say, if you completed everything or whatever. That'd be a nice addition. But they are going to be releasing an update soon. We'll get into that in just a little bit in our headlines. But yeah, that is happening. And then also played Mario Run on my phone. I actually fired it up by accident one day, intended to hit a different app, and all of a sudden realized that Toad Rally has some Wonder Flowers in it from Mario Wonder, and was like, oh, I'm going to play around with a few levels in the Toad Rally. So that was fun. I remembered I actually really enjoyed this game. Played Pokemon Go, Clash Royale, and Rocket League, of course, as well. So be sure to let us know what you have been playing. You can do that either on social media, or if you're watching the video version after the fact, you can also let us know in the comments or over on our Discord as well. But that brings us to the end of what we've been playing. We're going to jump into some headlines really quick, and then we'll jump into some big Mario Day news. But let's start off with those headlines. And Barry, you're talking about that Snufkin update.
Yeah, so you alluded to it. So let's talk a little bit about it. Snufkin is getting an update. It's coming soon for the Switch. Things that it's doing, it's adding a Switch streamer mode. It's updating the game icon, which it's really interesting because Nintendo wants every icon to have the name of the game. And when I downloaded this, I was like, oh, it doesn't say the name of the game. This is not going to fly. So they're updating it. Updating the video compression settings for the Switch for smoother playback. They're fixing a number of minor visual glitches. Also fixed an issue where language select didn't work with touch, and a few soft lock issues. So no added content, and unfortunately no progression, but a bunch of stuff to an already awesome game.
I know you just heard our thoughts on it already for the demo of Princess Peach Showtime, but if you want to try it yourself, there is the demo, which was also released at some point last week. So feel free to download it for free from the eShop and let us know your thoughts on it. Or if you're just getting the full game, you can do that as well when it releases on the 22nd.
All right, we got some Lego Fortnite updates here as of March 9th. So there's a few new Fortnite skins that have Lego styles that have been added. It says Beach Bomber, Bright Agent, Burnout, Chomp Senior, Heim, Marshmallow, Maven, Spider Knight, Toxic Trooper, and Vertex. So they continue to add more of those. They've also added Lego kits in the Fortnite shop. So up until this point, everything was free in Lego Fortnite, but now you can actually purchase these Lego kits based on iconic OG Fortnite locations and iconic Lego building sets. So they have all the building pieces and decor items in order to be able to build these locations in the game. So they are now on the item shop.
And since we're talking all about Mario Day, in honor of Mario Day, Nintendo decided to put some Switch eShop sales. You get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Party Superstars, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario and Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, and more. These sales will go through March 17th. If you are a physical collector, there are also plenty of retail outlets selling Mario-related games at a discount. So, plenty of games, plenty of options, and plenty of ways to save on Mario-related games. On top of that, if you are interested in Nintendo Switch Online and you haven't signed up yet, they've already do a 7-day trial for free. But if you sign up between now and March 17th for this trial, you'll actually get 14 days for free. So it's a great time to try out NSO. Remember, this gets you the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and the Game Boy Color. So 14 days, give it a try, see what you like.
And a judge has recently now signed the settlement terms between Nintendo and Yuzu. That Yuzu had made a Nintendo Switch emulator at some point in the last few years where you could play games, and that also caused Tears of the Kingdom being leaked ahead of time. So a judge has now signed off on the terms for Yuzu to completely shut down and turn over everything over to Nintendo, along with paying $2.4 million in damages.
Wow. So lots of stories going on. Also, hey to Zeb Zero in the chat as well. Hassan, any thoughts on any of these stories?
I will say on the Lego Fortnite one, I'm a little disappointed they're going in this direction. I will say just because the whole fun of the game is like you can kind of build, anything you want and get creative with it. But now if they're making you have to purchase things to build, it's kind of taken a little bit away from that sort of, fun factor there. I'm not too surprised by it.
What Epic wants
but
our money?
it is
What?
right. But it is a little disappointing. If it was something where they had physical Lego sets and they came with like a digital voucher or something, would have been awesome. I would be all on board. But I will be passing on these Lego kits unless there's something really crazy out there that I just can't pass up. But yeah.
Greg, any thoughts on these headlines?
I pretty much already gave the thoughts on the demo for Princess Peach, obviously. Probably not going to be getting the Legos or whatever for Fortnite. I haven't really been the biggest fan of Fortnite. And pretty much like Nintendo just shutting down like the Yuzu emulator. I mean, it's kind of as expected as it's a current console. And as I even mentioned, it caused like Tears of the Kingdom be available ahead of its release. So that's kind of why Nintendo wants to shut these things down. It's not against like game preservation or anything. It's more that you try to do something good for the community, and then there's the bad apples that ruin it for everybody else. So that was pretty much about it. I mean, obviously the Snufkin getting updated is great, but obviously wasn't quite what we asked for.
Yeah. Barry?
Yeah, I'm glad to see Snufkin getting an update, and hopefully they continue to update it. Always glad to see demos. My favorite are the ones that carry the progress over. Another reason I didn't play the Princess Peach Showtime demo. I'm not into Fortnite, so it sucks though. Like Hassan said, like whenever they give you stuff for free and you're used to that, and then suddenly they're like, oh, now we're going to start charging. They do that to see who is already addicted to it and is going to go ahead and be like, oh yeah, I'll it's only $5. Like, I could do that. I've been playing Fortnite, and that $5 turns into 50, turns into 500, turns into 5,000, etc. And that's when you
Well,
get into
each
trouble.
of those builds is like maybe $16 plus or so or whatever. They're expensive. So
Wow. So my analogy, just throw it out the window. It's $16. So it's only $16 for digital Legos. You might as well buy physical Legos and have those. But yeah, that's what it is. They get that's how these markets work. They get you for free, and then they start introducing, here's a free pack, and here's a cooler one. That one costs a little money. Oh, all your friends are getting that one. Why don't you go ask your parents? Because it's not targeting adults. That's targeting children. That's what that is. It's prey on children. Sucks, and I'm not a fan of it. So hopefully they get their act together. As for the Mario Day discounts, they usually do this every year. So Nintendo games don't often go on sale. So capitalize on this, physical or digital. These are great games. And if you're not on NSO now, I know it's like only $20 a year, which really isn't that bad. But jump on it. 14 days. And as the emulator, like Greg said, I'm fine with emulation. I'm fine with preservation. I'm a big, advocate for preservation. But when you put out a product that is now leaking games before they come out, and now you're actually taking money from hardworking developers and hardworking artists and hardworking composers, etc., that's an issue. That is literally stealing someone's livelihood, and absolutely Nintendo had every right to shut this down, and I would too. I think the people who are angry about it are people who just want stuff for free and don't think about the repercussions. And I'm fairly certain if they spend 5 years of their life working on something, they would be pretty upset if someone was just giving it away for free early without your permission when you're trying to, recoup some cost for those 5 years of your livelihood. But most people on the internet don't think about things like that. They just like the give me free, and artificial outrage because they don't take the time to read. They don't. Oh, Nintendo went after somebody. Oh, bad, Nintendo bad. They don't read anything past the headline.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you guys about the Lego Fortnite stuff. I'm still bummed. Like I haven't played it recently, but I built a house like right after I started playing it, and there was my last piece that I was not able to have, and I don't know, like, to put it into place, and I don't know why. It just, like, it went away, and doesn't allow me to actually put it there. Speaking of it went away, Hudson's back. But no one knows unless they're watching the video version that he just dropped. Not just spoiling it. This is why you
Oops.
watch the video version. You're good. But yeah, I think it's a bummer, but it also doesn't surprise me. I mean, Rocket League has been an epic game for the last couple years, and they just with every new car they drop or every new whatever, it's like, yeah, $20 for a goal explosion. I'm like, this is ridiculous, guys. Like, I know you made the game free, but I'm not paying $20 for a goal explosion, or $16 for a digital set of Lego. I'd rather go out and buy a real set of Legos, which we're going to get into in just a minute. Definitely a set that I want to get. So, yeah.
You know what? That's just how all these games work. Like, for example, I play Pokemon Unite, every day, and I do pay for the monthly pass. I think it's, like $8 a month or whatever. But I play every day, so I don't really look at it as a big thing. I get some free bonus stuff, and I get in-game currency that I can use. My wife plays very sporadically, but there's one glamour that she wanted. It was a Venusaur glamour, and she had quit playing right as it came out. I was like, maybe I'll go back and get it. And we went away, and it was gone for like 2 years. They finally brought it back for the Pokemon Day, and she was like, "Oh, I want that, I want that." And finally, it's back. I have a reason to go back and play the game more. And she got used her anniversary balls, and she of course came up short because most likely you're only going to get a +1. You need a +4. You need 40 points to get that, and she dropped 30 something dollars to get the currency, to get the use the balls for the anniversary thing, and get that glamour because she had waited 2 years and figured she probably never will see it again, and she really wanted it. And there you go. There's somebody who doesn't play the game often, just dropped 50% of what a retail game costs for a piece of glamour because she wanted it. And she's not the cow or the whale or the big spender. And if someone like that can get in on just one thing, all it takes is one thing, that's why they do it. So that goal explosion for $20, you look at it and go, no way. But there's an 8th grader out there that goes, that would be the coolest thing, and my friend Jimmy has it, and I really need it now, and then I'm going to get it, and I'm going to show it off when I score, and I'm going to feel like the king of the middle school, and I paid $20 for that feeling, and that feeling is going to go away like that the second there's a new thing, or his friends stop playing Rocket League,
Mm-hmm. Which is happening all the time now.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm a Fortnite. I'll just admit it. and amounts there. It's just the Lego thing just feels different to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe because that's kind of the main part of the mode of like building and creating things. So that's kind of where it just kind of feels off.
Yeah, for sure. Go in the chat real quick. Zev Zeros has been playing Persona 3 Reload, getting close to finishing it, and his daughter just got into Fortnite as well. And then also, hey to Ben Vang. Thanks for joining us in the chat as well. Well, it's now time for our main discussions of this episode, and it is time to talk Mario Day. We had, for the first time, I think, we had actual announcements on Mario Day, kind of surrounding that. The entire weekend was focused on these different announcements and things like that. So we all, I think it was Saturday, if I'm getting this correctly. It was the 9th, I think. I woke up to this announcement, and as we all did, that we're getting Lego Super Mario Kart in 2025. So all we got was kind of this side view, an image of what it is probably going to look like, the silhouette of a Mario Kart. But I don't know about you guys. This got me so excited. I have not gotten any of the other Lego Mario sets, but this one is probably the one that's finally going to do it. I thought it was going to be a castle that they finally announced, and that's what's going to get me into it. But nope, it's Mario Kart, and I'm so excited. Barry, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, when this trailer went up, I showed it to my wife and said, "So this is happening next year. I can see us getting this and playing with our son with this." And she looked at it and said, "Yeah, probably." And like you, Steve, I didn't get the Mario sets. The only one we do have is from the Donkey Kong series. It was a Dixie Kong set, and my wife loves Dixie Kong, so she got it just for that, not to play with the Mario figure, just because she loves Dixie Kong. But yeah, really interested to see what they do. And some people say, is this going to be a game too? Is the next Mario Kart going to be a Lego game, or how's this going to work? But from that image, it definitely seems like it's going to be physical toys. And I'm wondering how this is going to compare to like the Hot Wheels, because Hot Wheels has all those tracks and stuff, and how is this going to compare? So your house, Steve, is going to be nothing but Mario Kart, everything.
I know it. Just when I was running out of room behind me, they stopped making brand new Mario Kart Hot Wheels, which is great
did they?
for my wallet. Well, at least for now. They started doing the movie ones as well. So luckily, that's only like 7, I think, and I've got them all so far. But yeah, now I got to find room for the whole Lego Mario Kart. It's gonna be crazy.
Now the question is, will you keep it in the box, or will you actually build them?
Oh, I will build
because they take up less room in the box.
Yeah, which is weird because the Hot Wheels take up more room in the packages, which is why I finally opened them. Same thing with my Amiibo and stuff. But yeah, I'll definitely build it for sure. Yeah, Greg, you gonna get Mario Kart Lego?
Probably most likely, because Mario Kart's like one of my favorite series, and like I already kind of dabbled with the initial Mario Legos, and I was initially thinking those would be more fun to play with, but more than likely just get these more for like the collection purposes. And pretty much with any Legos, I would put them together. I don't keep things in the box. I mean, that's why a lot of Amiibo stuff is behind me, and the empty boxes are on display also behind me as well too. So it's not stuff just sitting in box and not being used. It's just the leftover empty box.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got all blurry too, but oh well.
Hussein, I know you've been getting all the other Lego Mario sets, so you excited about this Mario Kart one?
Oh yeah, I am very, very excited. Yeah, I have most of the Lego Mario sets. At one point I was trying to collect all of them, and then now I'm getting the ones I like. But the thing is, most of them are pretty cool, so most of them I do end up getting. So I have most. I haven't built a lot of them though. So I need to kind of go through my backlog of building them. There is a Princess Peach, by the way. I haven't built it yet, but they did release one of those. And then Lego Animal Crossing just released, so I got some of them have arrived, and some are shipping out soon. But then I saw Lego Mario Kart. I'm like, man, I was trying to stick to certain Lego series, but they're just hitting like every one of my favorite franchises, and I have to check it out. They did actually have a video on the Lego website where they showed the Lego Mario,
Yeah.
and then they showed that little Mario teaser. So I suspect there's be some sort of a game aspect or kind of linked with the Mario and stuff, which for some people may not like that. Some people may enjoy that. So I'm curious to what that looks like. And they also announced a couple new too. So I plan to get there's a new Lego Bowser train that they announced. A Lego Hogwarts Express. He loves trains, and so he loves playing with the Lego stuff. He's actually playing with it right now in the other room. So I'm probably going to Lego Bowser Express and build that as well.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool to see where they're going with this, and I'm still waiting for Hyrule Castle as well. Although that's going to be, emptying my bank account when it happens.
It's going to come. Yeah. It's going to come.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Zelda movie, right? So
it's true.
It's either going to be that or Lego Smash Brothers, and then we're all so screwed right there. Like,
hey, Hyrule Castle was a stage.
Gosh.
It's true. Wow. Well, the Mario Kart Lego was not the only announcement. We also woke up on Sunday on Mario Day, and we were greeted with Shigeru Miyamoto, and this is probably kind of like a mini Nintendo Direct. I feel like could have done like a direct on all these announcements, but they chose to make it a small little thing. And we got some information about the next Super Mario Brothers movie, the animated one, follow up from the one, was it 2 years ago? Last year? I forget when it originally came. Last year. But the next movie is slated to come out in 2026. And so they're going to be teaming up again with Illumination to bring us this new movie. And pretty much all we got was it's coming. They said that April 3rd, if I get that day correctly, I think of 2026. And they are going to be expanding the Mario world or the Mario universe. I forget what the exact phrasing, but they said. But yeah, Greg, you excited about the next Mario movie?
I am. I mean, I did really enjoy like all the tie-ins that they put in the first one, and by expanding the world, I mean, I can only imagine that they'll be looking more into like the Easter egg and stuff that they had at that bonus scene at the very end of the movie with like Yoshi being probably a more prominent character, and they also had like one of the Lumas, so it's like, is Rosalina going to be coming in as well? And then you never really know if like they'll even have like Daisy and other stuff like that. So I mean, there's lots of different ways that can go to fully on expand it, and I'm really excited to see where they go through with it next. And we'll likely be there opening day with my daughter to go see it at the theater.
Nice. Hassan, you excited?
Yeah, I've seen the first one, I don't know, like so many times. And my son, loves it too. It's actually the first movie that he like watched like all the way through.
Nice.
And periodically we'll watch it as well. I'm very curious about this because they specifically didn't say it's a sequel to the Mario movie. It's a new movie in that Mario universe. So I'm wondering if it's like a Donkey Kong spin-off type thing, or I don't know, or something where it's, maybe not necessarily a direct sequel, but related or something. So I'm very curious to see what it might be. And yeah, hopefully maybe this will be the first movie I take my son to see in theaters, because by that point he'll be 5. So it's kind of might be a nice little, thing to do.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That is cool. Yeah, who knows what that's actually going to mean. Barry, you got any speculation?
Yeah, for me, I feel this is going to be Mario 2. I mean, it could be, but the way they said, like, expanding his world, and they had Yoshi as the teaser. Yoshi debuted in Super Mario World. And the first movie was really kind of Mario 1, 2, and 3 all combined, right? You had the origin, you had Mario 3 power-ups and music, you had, the Shy Guys, which are Mario 2. So you really kind of had that all built in. So next logical step would be Mario World. So that's what I'm guessing. I'm of course excited. I love the first movie, and like Hassan, I was doing the math. Like my son's going to be 3 years old, and I'm like, they're over 3, and I'm like, could this be the first movie that I actually take him to the theater? like, see how his behavior, he's too young right now to know what his behavior is going to be like when sitting through a movie and comprehending. But if he can sit through and he can understand, and I hope so. I think that'd be a really cool, experience bringing him to the theater, and that'd be his first ever movie. So I guess we'll see. It's a couple years away, and I'm excited for the prospects at the very least. Otherwise, he's going to get a babysitter and be really mad at us for going to see the movie while he stays at home. But that's the breaks, kid.
That's funny, Greg. It's funny you mentioned calling it New Super Mario Brothers movie. I about did in the intro to this news story. I almost called it the New Super Mario Brothers movie because I think I'm used to Nintendo doing silly stuff like that. So
yeah, that's just more of the play on words because somebody like Zev Zero was commenting, thinking like, oh, the Mario 2 will be too hard for us in the USA, so it's gonna be they can't call it Super Mario Brothers 2 because it's maybe they'll just call it Doki Doki Panic,
That'd be really funny. I feel like they should at least have some sort of trailer or something that pokes fun at that in some way. And not everybody would get it, but those of us that do get it will be one of those if you know sort of thing. Yeah.
I mean, that's even how some of the stuff was even brought into the first one. I mean, they have like the Foreman Spike. I mean, not everyone really knows like Wrecking Crew and all that other stuff. I mean, I'm up to speed on that, but I mean, no, that's not quite as mainstream as some of the other stuff that they had in there. So
yep,
they need Scapelli to appear next time.
So much they can throw in there,
and throw Super Soaker or Super Scope guns that de-evolve people into monkeys.
Yeah, where's our follow-up to the 93 movie? That's what that was left on a cliffhanger as well.
There is an unofficial comic that they actually did as a follow-up where they had to go and fight Wart.
Nice. Well, we'll actually going to talk just a little bit more about the Mario movie in just a bit, but moving on, we not only got information about the movie, which was the main thing, but we also got a release date for Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door on Nintendo Switch. It's going to be available on May 23rd, 2024. Hassan, you excited about 1,000-Year Door coming to Switch?
I'm excited at the idea of it. I personally probably am not going to play just due to time and everything else, but I know my wife loves this game, and I'm sure she's going to definitely play it. So I will watch her play and see how it is.
Nice. Barry, how about you?
Oh, yeah. The last time I played it was on the GameCube when it came out, so I don't often replay games, but when I do, it's got to be like at least like a decade in between. And like Mario RPG with the remake, it's like it's been long enough that I forgot a lot of the nuances of the game, so it's going to be like almost a fresh game, and that's when I like to replay it. So yeah, it's a great game.
Greg, you excited about Paper Mario?
1,000%. So this is pretty much the only unplayed Paper Mario game on my side, and I understand it's the best one in the entire series. Funny story, I did get it on GameCube with my ex. We found it at got the special player's guide edition, but we never ended up playing it for whatever reason. Probably the Wii coming out shortly thereafter, and then so it was pretty much always on the backlog and never was even really open to play. So outside taking off the plastic wrap. So definitely looking forward to experiencing the best Paper Mario game and hopefully its best format available. So I've already been telling myself that I got to be finishing up the N64 version, which I only made halfway through before I lost my save file due to the theft of my Wii U console. But I'm hoping to hopefully make it through the first one and then have it in time to start this one fresh on release day.
Nice. Zev Zero in the chat looks as finally get to play and beat 1,000-Year Door. Excited as well. I'm still on the fence. We'll see. Super Paper Mario, as which I've talked about in previous podcasts, is like the only Paper Mario game I ever played. So I know this game's good, but we'll see if I actually get it or not. But Mario was not the only one to celebrate on Mario Day. Funny enough, his brother got some highlights, as well as we get Luigi's Mansion 2 HD that is dropping on June 27th, 2024. Of course, this was originally Luigi's Mansion, Dark
Dark
Moon.
Moon.
And yeah, they rebranded it for Switch as Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Still no subtitle of Dark Moon, which we've talked about before. We're like, they're finally going to add the subtitle or not, but they haven't yet. Barry, what do you think about Luigi's Mansion 2 coming over to Switch? Are you excited about it, or is this going to be just another game you collect because you've already played it before?
It's another one that, again, I haven't played it in a long time, and I don't think I ever finished it. I got pretty far. So I'm looking forward to playing it to completion this time. And I'm glad that, it's to a broader audience. And everywhere but us, by the way, it was Luigi's Mansion 2. We were the only country that had a subtitle, but I still think it would be nice to pay homage to that and have the best of both worlds, because Luigi's Mansion 2 and Dark Moon are the same. But no, I'm excited for it. The biggest takeaway for me from seeing this was the fact that Paper Mario is in May and this is in June, and everything we've known about is the first half of the year, and that's a pretty telling story, especially with June usually having a direct. So I did pick up on that.
Greg, you excited about Luigi's Mansion?
I am. I'm not going to be putting a lot of pressure to be playing through it, but it will definitely be one that I have, because I have the third one, and it'll be nice to have the second one right there with it. And Nintendo give us the first one. We kind of be nice to have the whole trilogy on Switch. That'd be nice. But yeah, I did play Dark Moon on 3DS, and it was an awesome game. I did really enjoy it there, and definitely looking forward to having it on Switch just for replayability factors.
Cool. How's it about you?
I don't know yet if I'm going to get this. I mean, I like that they're, re-releasing it, putting it, in HD, so more accessible to more folks as well. But I have it on 3DS, and I actually I kind of like the 3D novelty factor of it. Like, it's kind of fun to play games on the 3DS in that sort of 3D format. So, I don't know. This is one of those ones that maybe on sale I'll pick up later or something and see.
Yeah. I'm kind of same way as you as well on that one. And then one more announcement that came from this is that we are getting 3 more Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Actually, they dropped today on March 12th. So you can play Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis on the Nintendo Switch Online. And if you don't have that subscription, like Barry said earlier, you can actually get a 14-day free trial right now. Greg, you excited about Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, and Mario Tennis?
I've actually never played the golf and tennis version, so that might be something to check out at some point. I don't know how well they hold up over time, but I did have the original Dr. Mario on Game Boy, and that was a lot of fun there. I mean, I had it on NES as well. I mean, that was a nice thing to have on the go. I know me and my sister had a lot of crazy Link battles on the Game Boy back in the day, but yeah, it would be kind of cool to see how well that holds up. I mean, I know it was like that pepperoni pattern one was kind of hard to tell from the clear one at times, so I don't know if it's got those classic graphics as well, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. Hassan, you excited about playing these classic Game Boy games?
If any of these, really, maybe Dr. Mario. I haven't played Mario Golf or Tennis on the Game Boy, so I might check that out. But I also haven't really played a lot of the Nintendo Switch Online stuff in quite a while, so I have a large backlog there if I ever want to get around to that.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's not games that I'm excited that Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are there, but I don't think to go to them very often at all.
Yeah.
Barry, you can play any of these?
I'm probably tennis. I never got around to playing them when they came out, but golf and tennis are RPGs. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, this particular Mario Golf and Mario Tennis are not your traditional golf and tennis. They're golf RPG and tennis RPG, where with Mario characters and with non-Mario characters that you play as. And I've heard nothing but great things about them, and many people consider them the best of their respected series because of that. So it's wonderful to be able to get a chance to play them, on the Switch. and have more access to it. The biggest recourse I've seen from this is, where's Mario Land 1? Mario Land 1 is still not on NSO, and people are mad about it.
Yeah, they
Future
act like that
remake.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, it could be
That would
future
be
remake.
crazy if they like do a 3D, or not like a 3D, but an HD remake of Mario Land. That'd be crazy. Going to the chat real quick. It says Jakester says he's too busy with Golden Sun. Still has no opinion on the Game Boy games, but excited about Luigi Mansion 2. Zev Zero says Mario Golf is the one, and yes, you confirmed that's the one made by Camelot, and it's an RPG.
They're all made by Camelot.
Or all by Camelot. But yeah, I think with every new Mario sports game, especially golf and tennis, people, fans of the originals, are always like, oh, are they going back to the RPG style? Are they going back to the story mode and everything? And with every game, it seems like they're not. And so to
Tennis Aces
recapture,
did. Tennis Aces had a story
Okay.
mode. Yeah.
Okay, was it
It
good?
wasn't as, it was okay, but it
Okay.
wasn't a full-fledged RPG. It was a story mode that had like different tennis matches and different challenges, and it was much better than the Ultra Smash by far.
Hmm.
But it's not the same level as what the Game Boy Color version did.
Okay.
Remember, Camelot went from this to Golden Sun afterwards. So
Oh.
like, they're very good with RPGs, but Camelot still only makes Mario sports games and the occasional Golden Sun now. Really.
It's true, which is a great connection for Jakester in the chat, who's playing Golden Sun right now. I think it's a natural. You need to slide over to Mario Tennis and Mario Golf after this. So yeah, which brings me to this question. So all these different announcements, all this cool stuff that is happening. Barry, you alluded to this earlier. We've got a lot of stuff happening in the first half of this year. We've talked about, the rumor is that Switch 2 is going to be pushed back to 2025, but man, like, what's going to happen in the rest of this year if it is in fact pushed back and we don't get anything? Any thoughts?
So honestly, I'm not sure. When we entered this year, we knew Nintendo themselves had 5 games. One of them was unique and new, and the other 4 were all remakes or ports. Now we have 6 games, with 2 of them being new and 4 of them being ports, and all of them happening by June. We know nothing beyond that. I definitely feels like they cleared their schedule for a Switch 2. So if a Switch 2 is happening, we're going to get an announcement in June, or maybe May or July, like somewhere in that window, and that's going to be their big fall thing. If it's been delayed, what I feel they're going to do is they're going to fill the rest of this year with ports that they've been working on, and my suspicion will be finally we'll get the Zelda games from the Wii U. Xenoblade X to me seems like a very easy one to bring over, and then I'm sure they've already been working on it. We could see something like Star Fox Zero. There's been rumored like, oh, they're going to do some kind of version. Who knows? Plus, look, Paper Mario, I mean, was a GameCube, and Luigi's Mansion was 3DS. So we're a lot of people just go to what from the Wii U could be brought over. That's off the table. Another code was DS and Wii, so those systems are on the table too. We could see HD ports from any of those systems. We don't know, but that's what I see. I see them saving. I don't think we're going to get another big new game unless it's also on the Switch too. Everything else at this point was going to be ports or games that have been in development, like Peach. I'm sure has been in development for a while. Blue Ocean has been, or Endless Ocean, I mean, has been in development for a while. Like, these games just didn't materialize. So if there is another game like that, it's been in development for a while, and they're just gonna push it out later this year.
Yeah. Hassan, we haven't got to hear your thoughts on the Switch 2 possible rumors. Is it coming out this year? Is it pushed back to next year? All those different thoughts as well. And does the current release schedule allude to anything? What do you think?
I feel like we were talking about Switch 2 when I was last on the podcast or something, like years ago. I don't know. But no, I do think we'll see. But I do think it is finally, time. And so if it is, delayed or whatever, coming up soon by early next year. So I do think Barry's right. I think, where it's just going to be these extra little ports or things to kind of fill the gap there. Maybe like something like a new Mario Party or something that's like, not as like big. Like I don't think we're going to get the next 3D Mario, or anything like that, right? It's just going to be like other smaller, games or spin-offs that they can throw out there to fill in the gaps. Maybe even some like DLC for something, just surprise like DLC for a game that's already out there, just to kind of, it's not a full blown game that was, in development, but just to kind of add on something and keep people going in the interim, especially if Switch games, according to rumors or whatever, can run on Switch 2 and maybe be higher resolution, things like that. If there's some games that they want to continue to support going into Switch 2, some DLC could kind of bring new life into that game and then, carry over to the system or something like that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a lull beyond that until we get the next big thing.
Yeah. Greg, what are your thoughts? Are you agreeing with all this? Maybe we're going to get our Metroid Prime 3 that we've been waiting on, or our trilogy, Metroid Prime trilogy that we've been waiting on for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think for one of the first times in a while, I don't think Barry stole my thunder. So I did think that Metroid Prime trilogy could be a potential factor as like a whatever August or September game. But then I was gonna jump into does that mean Metroid Prime 4 is the holiday game? So I thankfully he didn't remember that there was still one unannounced or one Switch game that hasn't been given a release date, which is that one. It's certainly possible. It could be close. I mean, it could be also for Switch 2 at this point. We don't know that either. So, I mean, still time will tell. But I do think it's kind of lightening up the load, and it likely just will be more, okay, what needs an HD remaster, and then who wants to do whatever Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, who wants to do like Super Metroid or something or whatever, I don't know, but like it's like it'd be like would pick an old game to remaster and redo it, and it's probably gonna be a lot more of those types of games and less of the unique ones because those are being held for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't forget, by the way, Greg. It's a boy who cried wolf situation. How many times have we all said Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 4? And it's been over 5 years since they announced that they were starting over. So as far as I'm aware, or as far as I care, it's a vaporware until it appears, because it's been so long at this point. I feel it's going to be a Switch 2 game at this point. I think we're going to get people who are saying, I bought a Switch just for Metroid Prime 4. Now I got to buy a Switch 2. And it's going to be the same people who bought a PS4 for Final Fantasy VII Remake and had to buy a PS5 for Rebirth. And we'll probably have to buy a PS6 for the third part of the series.
I mean, that's why I also had my prediction in January that it was going to be like the Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a dual release. So they could easily port it over to Switch 2 next year as well too, if it is delayed to next year, or if it is this holiday season as previously rumored. I mean, it could easily be a dual release for this holiday.
Yeah, I feel like that Metroid Prime 4 could be one of those, like they could turn it into a launch game and maybe not make it backward compatible. Make it like this is the reason why you need to get a Switch 2, because you can play this game and it's going to have a robust online component, and this is going to be like the top quality game. It's not going to run very well on original Switch, so we're not going to make it available for that. It could turn into the real big push for the next system.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they did want to keep their faith with Breath of the Wild and putting it still on the Wii U, and then obviously that kind of removed some of the features that they had previously discussed before then. So I would think that Metroid Prime 4 could be one of the games that could be on both, unless obviously if it's technically limited by whatever their dreams of doing in the fourth game are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also don't know what features.
Yeah, because I mean they did like announce it for the Switch, and it'd be would be that slap in the face, and they usually are pretty good at honoring the people that have bought into the stuff early. I mean, that's why the 3DS got the Ambassador games. That's why Breath of the Wild was on the Wii U and the Switch, and like so I feel like there's not been as many of those types of situations where they don't honor the people that follow
But that
perspectives.
has happened. Super Paper Mario and Donkey Kong Jungle Blast, for example, were supposed to be GameCube games, and they wound up coming out in the Wii or Barrel Blast, whatever it was.
Mhm.
So it has happened before where they've pushed to a new system.
Yeah. It'll be interesting for sure. And I feel like at some point soon we're gonna be knowing and stop speculating, I guess. Hopefully. Real quick, I wanted to also highlight that Nintendo also highlighted this other free digital guidebook for the Super Mario Brothers movie as well. So if you head over to Nintendo.com, you can get this digital guidebook that kind of walks you through several different Easter eggs that were in the movie. So some of those things you may have caught. So it kind of highlights all the big characters and the different areas. I think it's already been pretty much confirmed, but that it was the Jungle Kingdom is where DK was from, and then it highlights some different Easter eggs, like when they were wearing the capes. It was from Super Mario World, and there was a street that was called the Hanafuda Street, I think, or Boulevard or whatever it was as well. They had of course the Jumpman game and the restaurant there at the beginning. Spike from Wrecking Crew, which we talked about earlier. This is one I didn't catch in the very first showing as well, but when you look at Luigi's phone, it's a me silhouette that is there. So that was kind of fun. And then also, of course, like I think we all spotted the Castle Burger, the flagpole idea when he's going down. The camera turns 2D and you see him going through that, and all of a sudden he slides down the pole, which is fun. We have a shout out to the ice climbers as well, and one of the street sign or the building signs, as well as a shout out to Oil Panic on Game & Watch that was on one of the signs as well. Pikmin was present in the office. We of course was pretty obvious the Kid Icarus on the NES, as well as several other things. I think there was an R-Wing in there as well. And then Duck Hunt got a shout out, one of the signs as well. And this is another one that I didn't catch either, but when Mario and Luigi bust through the bricks, there's an 8-bit Mario head behind them as they busted through. So that was fun to see. And also a shout out to the balloon fight on another sign. There's a disc Kun, which is tied back to the Famicom, so we didn't really know about it here in the US, but that was another sign that you saw. Of course, our Princess is in Another Castle classic line from Toad that was shouted out. We see Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and several other Kongs, and the stadium there. And then the map behind Cranky Kong kind of looks like Super Mario World as well. And also, when they're flying through all these different areas, it seems to be a connection to Mario Odyssey and the Toasterina level in that as well. So lots of different Easter eggs that they pointed out in this book, most of the ones that I'd already known. But I was curious if any of those stood out to you, or if there was any others that stood out to you thinking back about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Hassan, any of those brand new for you?
Yeah, actually, even though I've seen this so many times, there's a few I didn't catch, like the Pikmin, one. I didn't read some of the things too closely, so like the street sign, the Hanafuda and stuff, like the actual names there, I didn't like read too closely. The Oil Panic, one for Game & Watch, things like that. So there's a few that stuck out to me. But this movie's just filled with Easter eggs and references, and like every little thing, like you could really take almost as a reference from so much that they did. So it's hard to pull from it. But I just, even down to, I remember the Mario Kart scene when they're like picking the different components of the vehicles. It's like the same sound effects and stuff from the game, and I'm like, that just, I literally was like tearing up at this movie because of those references. So I'm like watching it, and like people around me are like, what's this? It's just this Mario movie. What are you doing? And I'm like, but they thought of this, and like like when Gusty Garden Galaxy or whatever that music started in the credits, I literally just started bawling. Like it just like all these cool references. This movie's just packed with it. So as a as a Nintendo fan and a Mario fan specifically, it's just like it's awesome to see the attention and care that went into it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've said before that like there was clearly some big Mario fans that made this movie. Greg, any new Easter eggs found in this guidebook or anything else?
I actually had missed like that 8-bit head when they crashed in through the wall. I didn't even see that. I mean, I definitely recognized like the 1-2 music they had playing very, very softly in the background in that scene, but I didn't even put that like together for like the hole that was made. That was really cool, and just learned that one. But yeah, like Huston, I've seen like a lot of the other Easter eggs that were like pointed out and everything is just so cool, and you can definitely tell it was made with a lot of love and care, and like so many different scenes, and you could easily probably write an entire novel on the movie for like every single Easter egg, because of how many there are. There's like literally something hidden in just about every single scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like you could have a whole podcast episode or YouTube video, showing all of them, and that video would probably be twice as long as the movie itself.
And then a literal egg at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an actual Easter egg. Yeah. Barry, any new ones that you saw in this, or anything else stand out to you?
The me on the phone I didn't catch. It was a quick thing, and I was like, oh, that's clever. But one, I don't know if you caught it or not, in the Nintendo Mario Day presentation that they just had, the mini direct. Did you catch the Easter egg behind Chris Son for the Mario movie on his bookshelf?
I don't know if I did.
There's a certain King of the Koopas in the background, and he has it positioned in such a way that is 100% a reference to the Mario movie. And I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant, because it's in the background, it's not drawing attention to it, but it was purposely done that way. So you didn't catch that, did you?
I didn't. I noticed he had characters behind him, which I thought was cool, but I did not catch
there's
that.
There's a direct reference to the Mario movie back there, which is really, really cool. So I know I can see you're bringing it up. You're like, I gotta see this.
I'm looking to see if I can pull this up pretty quick. I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to waste time on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where I was like, I stopped listening to what he was saying. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, I love what he did.
Fun fact, as soon as he had said like Chris Son, I almost thought they were going to bring on like Chris Pratt, and he was going to be like, I'm going to stomp some Koopas. And
I definitely thought the exact same thing. I was like, is that who he's throwing it to? Okay.
No, thankfully he didn't. One thing, why I know you're looking it up, it's funny because when they announced the Mario movie and they announced it was with Illumination, I saw like a collective groan from a lot of people, like, oh, Illumination, they're not fans of Minions or whatever. They're like, not fans of the quality, and they were really upset. And this time we're back with Illumination. Everyone's like, yeah, perfect. They did great with the movie. It makes sense to do it again. And no one had a problem with it, it seems. Now, my only hope for the new movie, no licensed like general music. Like, get Take on Me out of there. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Put game music in there, especially knowing what was supposed to be in those scenes. It hurts. Like, it takes me out. I need a hero. I want to hear game music or remixes of game music.
Yeah. There he is playing the piano.
Yep. Bowser with the piano singing Peaches.
Nice. Peaches.
And make sure everyone's properly credited, like not just DK Rap from N64, like put the actual people that made it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some things that they could tighten up and improve for sure, but man, it was such a good movie. And I like you guys, like so much nostalgia in it. I was happy like the entire time. I was just like, there are a few movies that I've seen in my day that I just walk out with just this joyful glee, and that was definitely one of them. I was like, I am so excited that I watched this movie, and yeah, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close to perfect. Yeah. Well, one last thing that we want to talk about that I thought was just kind of funny more than anything else is part of Mario Day. They decided to do this this website, what they do a lot of times, but they did this Mario through the years, and they did this video which highlights some different games. But they also had this history of Mario, Super Mario, under it. And I'm just going to cycle through these, and you guys can watch if you're watching the video version, you can see there's a few glaring omissions to me. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but you're starting off with Super Mario Brothers at the beginning and going to 2, and then Land and 3, and Super Mario World, and then Mario Land 2, and then Super Mario 64, Sunshine, New Super Mario Brothers, and then Galaxy, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, down to Galaxy 2, then 3D Land, New Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers U, Super Mario 3D World, Mario Maker, Super Mario Run, Odyssey, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Mario Maker 2, and it ends with Mario 3D All-Stars and 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. They included Wonder and a couple other games in the video, but like there's other games that they kind of missed that are there. They've gotten all the new Super Mario Brothers games, like highlighted all those, but they
didn't.
They even left out some of those.
Was out absence.
Well,
it's part
it's
of
not
Deluxe.
a Mario game, yeah, I guess specifically Mario. But yeah, there's like they left out Super Mario World 2, which is technically Yoshi's Island, but it's a Mario game, and a couple others as well. And to put in 3D All Stars and not put in the original All Star, it's kind of a weird collection. And I don't know if there's much to discuss about this. It was just something that I noticed. I was like, that's a little strange.
Yoshi's Island, while it's Super Mario World 2, absolutely, it's also kind of branched into the Yoshi series. I mean, even
True.
Yoshi has a different symbol in Smash. I mean, you could say where's Wario Land, because it was Mario Land
Which is also
3.
yeah.
But you know what is omitted? I mean, it's understandable if they don't want to put Donkey Kong, even though it's his first appearance. But the original Mario Brothers is not there. That is a Mario Brothers game, like
Well, it
hands
does say
down.
the history of Super Mario, so he wasn't super yet.
It was the birthplace of Luigi. And what about Mario Clash? That's not there. And
There
what
you
about
go.
obviously the Mario sports games and Mario Kart and Mario Party and all of that's gone.
Yeah.
Paper Mario, Mario RPG, Mario and Luigi. There's so many Mario series. But yeah, it's interesting that there are some omissions, but I guess they figured overload.
I guess so. But it'd be cool to actually it got me thinking. It was like, it'd be cool to have like a page that Nintendo puts together that is the full history of Mario, because there's so much there over the years. It would be kind of cool to fully see that.
The Mario timeline.
Exactly.
Would you count
Yeah.
stuff like Wrecking
it all in.
Crew and Punch Out
You
and
should. You
NES
totally should.
Open?
Yeah, throw it all in there. Put the full history of Mario. It'd be fun to see. I'm sure other people
Alleyway
have
on the
done
Game
it, but-
Boy.
Yeah.
Where he appears in the beginning and jumps in the paddle, and that's all you see of him.
Or Punch Out, as he's like.
I said Punch Out. He's a
yeah.
referee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario
NES
Golf.
Open, or
Yeah.
was the first one with
Yeah.
Mario, and then tennis. He was the referee in tennis on the NES, and
Mhm.
and they hoard him out on the NES. Like
They
he's
do,
in so many of those early games.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about this, but I just thought it was interesting. Greg, any thoughts at all? Oh, he's muted.
Muted.
That's probably why I felt like I was trying to talk over people and no one really heard anything I was saying. But I was gonna say, his original Origins part was like the Mario Brothers game, and I saw that was like a clear omission. Because obviously Luigi was created there. I was actually really surprised even to have Mario Wonder on there, because I mean, you said it was in the video, but I didn't even watch the video. But you would think they'd have it on the little slider. There's
Right.
room for at least one more game on that last tab, so they could have easily put that in there as his latest adventure. So I don't know why they stopped it before then.
Yeah.
But I was going to try to say we missed Mario timeline where Mario loses to Bowser and then it creates a Super Mario Brothers 2 or something. And
The alternate timeline version.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about omitting Lost or all the original All Stars too, because that was the way to play Lost Levels originally, and 3D All Stars, all those 3 games are already on there, but Lost Levels, the original Mario 2, which is 100% a Mario game, is not there at all,
Yeah.
and it's like, wait a second, where is that? Like,
I didn't
that's
check out the Japanese version of this site. Maybe they have it over there.
well, they might not have Mario USA or
They
something
probably
like that.
don't.
But like Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, which had unique features to the original Super Mario Brothers added, isn't there either.
Yeah. The e-card
Well,
games.
no. That was Mario
I
like
know.
3.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
hey, where's Mario Party E? Come on.
Yeah. Hassan, any thoughts about all this craziness with Super Mario history?
Yeah, I actually hadn't looked through this until now, so it's kind of interesting to see. I probably, to be honest, probably wouldn't have caught any of this stuff that was mentioned, but Wonder is a weird omission because I feel like if anything, you'd want to market and push everybody towards your latest game. So that is very odd to not have included there. Not sure
Mario and
why.
DK too. Mario versus DK just came out, and they could have put that. But we know what's missing? Mario's Cement Factory. That should be there.
And Mario teaches
What about
typing, and Mario's
Hotel
missing.
Mario.
Hotel Mario. There you
Well,
go.
Hotel Mario is not Nintendo, and Mario teaches typing, I think, was like Mario was missing that was done by somebody else. But Mario Cement Factory was Nintendo first party. It was just Game & Watch, but it was first party.
Well, some crazy things. Nintendo, come on. We know you're listening to the podcast because, of all the other reasons why you throw the directs right after our episodes. So, we know you're listening. So, come on.
Especially
fix your
since
history.
Hassan's back for today too. So
That's right.
for sure that
they're definitely listening.
there should be a direct announce for Thursday or something.
Well,
Right.
Before we move into our last segment of upcoming games and what we're going to be playing, just another quick reminder that if you have not followed us on or subscribed on your favorite podcast app, be sure to do that. Or also here on YouTube, if you're watching the video version, we have all of our archive of all of the video podcasts on our YouTube channel, but also game chats and game reviews, some other news things we've been posting lately, several other things on our YouTube channel. So lots of different reasons to subscribe over there. But if you've not followed us on social media, you can find us at NintendoFuse. And of course, we have our Discord. We'd love to have you join the community over there as well. But before we wrap up, we're going to talk about some games that are coming out over the next couple weeks. Our next podcast will be recorded on March 26th of this month. So just in a couple weeks, we'll be back with our next episode, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back, but we got several games coming out. Like always, we're going to be scrolling those compliments of Metacritic on the video version. You can see those live, but some games we want to highlight as we go through that list on the screen is March 14th is a big day. We get Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, Lawnmower Simulator, which we talked about earlier, Death Trick Double Blind, CarX Highway Racing, and Ys 2 Ancient Ys Vanished, the final chapter. On March 15th, we get Rainbow Moon. On March 19th, MLB The Show 24. And on March 21st, we get Dragon Quest X Online All-in-One Package version 1 through 7. And we get Kimco. Oh, and no, okay. And Kimco RPG Selection Volume 6 and Attack of the Karens, which I thought was really funny. Probably not a top, tier game, but you can play Attack of the Karens on March 21st. March 22nd, we get Princess Peach Showtime. And on March 26th, we get Portal Shotgun Teleport and South Park Snow Day. So, Barry, any of those games or any others that maybe I have missed that you're hoping to play over the next couple weeks?
So none of those. So my plan for this upcoming 2 weeks is to finish 7 Rebirth, play through all the remaining games we have to review because we do have a bunch of codes. The next big thing for me is Peach Showtime on the 22nd, as well as Dragon's Dogma 2. So if I do have any time in between, maybe I'll boot up Mario Tennis GB, Game Boy Color, and mess around with that.
Nice. Greg, how about you?
Also, pretty much the same, and just finishing up those review games that we already previously highlighted. And then, even as I previously mentioned, I'll be hoping to jump into Paper Mario on the N64 NES Online, or the Nintendo 64 Online app, not the NES.
Nice. Hudson, what are you going to be playing over the next couple weeks?
Beyond just keeping up with Fortnite, with its always, adding updates and things like that. Battlefront, the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection looks interesting. I never played the originals, but all the things they're adding to it look interesting. I just don't know that I have the time to get into, another kind of online game. But I guess the only other one would be Princess Peach Showtime, pending how I feel after playing the demo. So downloading that to my Switch now, we'll find out, and then maybe check that out.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you guys. There's not a ton off this list. I mean, there's some good games coming out, and we're going to be talking about some of them already, like we said, about CarX and Lawnmower Simulator, stuff like that we're going to be doing game chats on really soon that I've already played. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing any of these. I know one of my other friends is big into the show, and so I might hear some stuff from him and things like that. But yeah, playing through the games that we're going to be reviewing soon, and I'm going to be doing some travel. We actually might be getting snowed on a whole lot starting tomorrow, so maybe if I'm stuck in my house a little longer, I might actually fire up, Life is Strange 2 finally and finish that game. But or maybe Xenoblade X, that'd be crazy. But I need to fire up my Wii U anyhow to make sure that nothing's deleted on it. But let's go to the chat, and it looks like Jakester's going to be continuing Skyward Sword HD, Golden Sun, and then play some Pikmin Bloom and Pokemon Sleep. And Attack of the Carrots sound like an off-brand Pikmin game, he says. And yeah, it really does. It really does. That's a good catch. For sure. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Hassan, it's been awesome to have you back on the episode. Tell us what's going on in your world. You got your own YouTube channel as well. World of Ha is over there, and you're pumping out, Apple Vision Pro stuff and all your toy videos and all your Pentatonics videos and everything like that. So make sure you go over to his YouTube channel and subscribe. But what else is going on in your world?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get back to doing a little bit more of stuff over there on YouTube. Otherwise, just keeping busy with life, with the family, with work. I just got promoted to a director role, so work is gonna be even busier going forward. But excited about the new roles and opportunities. And I will actually be also, for those local in Northern Virginia area, I'll be at the Big Lick Comic Con in April. I forget the exact date, but it's I'm going to have a booth there where I'm going to be selling a bunch of my old stuff, different collectibles and things, and just kind of hanging out. And yeah,
that's awesome. That's fun. Greg, anything cool going on in your world?
Not really a whole lot going on. Just pressing forward with everything else that's been ongoing in the personal life department, but thankfully a lot of that stuff is getting finally some light at the end of the tunnel and getting close to being wrapped up. So I was able to get some good time in to enjoy some of these games over the last week, and look forward to having some more of that time become more available as it goes on. So hoping to get some good gaming sessions in over the upcoming 2 weeks.
Cool. Barry, I know you get some big stuff coming up very, very soon for premium.
Yes, the 25th. So right the day before our next podcast, we have our next big direct, our spring direct, Series 8. We've got a bunch of stuff to announce that I can't talk about just here, but we did just put up both Jim and Dill, The Legend of Weed and Stiff, and Jim and Dill 2, Bobson's Revenge on our site. They're NES games from Cal Games, 2 fantastic NES games. They're available right now to pre-order. So definitely check those out and stay tuned. We got a really exciting lineup for everybody. On top of that, we've got a Kickstarter that's live right now for Godshard Chronicles. It just broke 200%. It hit the $100,000 mark, 200% of its goal. Hitting stretch goals. It's got 3 weeks left. It's doing extremely well. If you like action RPGs, Secret of Mana, Legend of Zelda, you need to check this game out. It's fantastic, and it's got a bunch of classical RPG composers attached to it, from Lunar, from Grandia, Final Fantasy, you name it. This is going to be a big game. So it's doing extremely well. We do have a Kickstarter exclusive physical, but even if you just want to get digital, show this developer some love. He is fantastic, and this is a real passion project, and I think it's going to be, truly something special when it does come out.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I that was the immediately. I can't remember if we talked about this on the last episode or right after, but immediately when I saw that game, I was like, "Oh, that's Secret of Mana." Like that's definitely inspired by that, and I'm sure it's going to be a great game for sure. So yeah, excited about all those different things. Yeah, who knows what's going to be going on in my world. Things are changing all the time. I thought I had a really busy week, and then now we're possibly going to get a huge blizzard. So maybe all my plans are canceled, and who knows, maybe I'll be playing more video games the next couple of days instead of traveling all over the state of Colorado like I had thought I was going to. So we'll see.
Well, that's fantastic. We got a nice spring day here in the Chicagoland. It was like 65 some degrees, and I'm wearing shorts today. So
yeah, it was beautiful here in Jersey.
It was 70 yesterday, so it happens. Well, thanks again, Hassan, for joining us. Hope to see you again on here sometime. It's been way too long since we had you back on, but yeah. And thank you guys all for joining us in the live chat.
Yeah, it was fun hopping back on.
And if you have not joined us in the live chat, make sure you do that. We record every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We love having you in there as additional members, as collective additional members of the podcast team. And we refer to you guys, as you heard on this episode, so much throughout the episode. We love hearing your thoughts as well. But if you watch it after the fact, throw your comments down in the comment section because we'd love to hear them, or over on our Discord. But like I said, we're going to be back with another live show on March 26th, 2024. But until then, happy gaming, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you next time.
Bye.